The House will come to order. Members, please register. Have all members registered? A quorum is present. The House and Gallery will please rise for the invocation, which will be offered by Father Francis Onizuru from St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic Church in Odessa, sponsored by the Honorable Brooks Landgraf of Ector County.
Let us pray. God of justice and mercy, thank you for the great state of Texas, the 28th state in the Union of the United States. Thank you for over 31 million souls that call Texas home. Thank you for all our leaders in the three branches of government, the executive branch, the judiciary, and the legislative. Thank you for the 150 members of this Texas legislative body, their families and loved ones. We thank you, God, for the opportunities you've presented to us from the southern border with our sister nation, Mexico, to the northern border with Red River, the Panhandle, and with Oklahoma. Omniscient God, you know the challenges we face in this great state of Texas. Challenges in border security, water crisis, affordability crisis, cybersecurity, some oil and gas concerns, trafficking, human life issues, education, maternal care, healthcare improvement, electric power supply, and so many other such challenges. Instead of blaming you in regards to these, we thank you for giving us the opportunities, the resources, and the abilities to handle them properly, as you, Lord, grant us the wisdom and light to see them. As we thank you today, we also pray for our beloved state and our leaders. Please continue to guide our elected officials, their staff members and families. Help us to reach with open hearts and open doors across the aisles, especially when we disagree. May we not allow the drive for material possessions, power, and pleasure to be our king or queen. May we not let egocentrism be prince or princess. May we not let treachery be our strategy. May we not allow blackmails to be avenues to success. May we not let politics be a game or a mere ladder to economic well-being. Rather, may politics be an opportunity for us to serve the common good of all Texans, maximizing all the gifts and talents you've given us during this short time you've allowed us to be on this earth. May you reward these your sons and daughters beyond the gratitude of their constituents and supporters. Above all, in all their endeavors, never allow them to be separated from you. Whenever their services to you and humanity come to an end, may they hear those consoling words of scriptures, accompanied by a big old Texas-sized hug, saying to each of them, "Welcome home, good and faithful servant." Bless all the works of their hands and minds, and we entrust these prayers into your hands, using those words our Savior and Lord Jesus Christ taught us in the Scriptures, as we all pray together. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
The chair recognizes the Honorable Jeff Berry of Brazoria County to lead us in the pledges of allegiance to the United States and Texas flags.
Thank you, Speaker. Members, please join me in the pledges to the American flag, United States flag, and the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The chair is pleased to recognize Dr. Chelsea Mendonca from Houston as the Doctor of the Day. Members, join me in welcoming our Doctor of the Day. Mr. Guerin moves to defer the reading and referral of bills until the end of today's calendar. Is there objection? Chair hears none, and so ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Hunter for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that House grant permission for all committees and subcommittees to meet while the House is in session pursuant to their committee postings or recess motions. For purposes of this motion, committees and subcommittees scheduled to meet or reconvene today upon final adjournment or recess or during bill referral if permission is granted are authorized to convene upon adoption by the House of today's adjournment motion.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The motion is adopted. Members, please take your conversations outside the rails. For his announcements today, join me in wishing the following members happy birthdays. Over the weekend, it was Representative Landgraf's birthday, and yesterday was Penny Morales-Shaw's birthday. Happy birthdays. Members, please take your seats. We have a memorial resolution. The chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the caption.
H.R. 14 by Raymond in memory of Judge Morris Overstreet.
Chair recognizes Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, Symphonia. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members. And you know, we lose wonderful people. We celebrated Sylvester last week, but last year we lost one of my dearest friends, one of my brothers. He was, I think, 4 sessions ago, he stood here with me as we got sworn in as my brother, and Morris Overstreet. Many of you maybe didn't know Morris. I hope many of you did. John, he born and raised in Amarillo, a year older than John Smithy here. We first met, I met Morris when I was 22, working on a U.S. Senate campaign, and he was coordinating a lot of Texas for us. And, you know, through life, by now I have found you meet people that you'll never forget. And I'll never forget all y'all because you're wonderful. I love y'all. I'll never forget you. But there are those that are really special that have an impact on so many. And in this case, someone who had an impact on the state. And I'm very proud that you know, I met Morris when he was 33, and growing up in Amarillo as he did, which at the time I think was about 5% African American when he was growing up, but he was elected he almost got elected district attorney, lost by 50 votes. And then a couple of years later, he got elected to the County Court of Law. And then later would be the first African-American elected statewide in the state of Texas when he was elected to the Court of Criminal Appeals. Morris Overstreet was one of the finest people you would have ever known. He had such a wonderful disposition. He was always positive. I don't think I ever heard him raise his voice in all the years that I knew him. But he was passionate as Sylvester was about many things, just didn't say it as loudly as Sylvester. He was a gentle, quiet giant who was a very determined man and who helped so many through the years. As close as we were, he didn't tell me he had cancer. He probably didn't tell a lot of us, his friends, that he was suffering from cancer, and then I didn't see him the last few months of his life when you would have noticed it. So when I got the call that he passed, it was a shock to me, and I wanted to take a minute to bring his memory to this floor because he loved the legislative process. He was here every session advocating for things that he was interested in, and he never stopped trying to help people. He wanted to, I have to say this, he wanted to be a doctor. And if you knew Morris, if you knew Judge Overstreet, you could understand why he had such a wonderful demeanor. He would have been a great doctor. But when he finished college at Angela State and applied for medical school, he was interviewed, and he told me the story where they told him, well, is your father a doctor? You know, no. Is your grandfather a doctor? No. Do you have one of your uncles a doctor? That was kind of the process back then when you were interviewing, trying to get into medical school for a lot of people, and so he just kind of gave up. They didn't, kind of a legacy thing, so he didn't get into medical school, so he decided he'd go to law school. That's how he became a lawyer. But it's important, members, that we think of folks like this who made history. And he made history, not just as the first African-American elected statewide, but history in that he showed that it doesn't matter what the color of your skin was. If you closed your eyes, you wouldn't know. This is just a fine person, and that's what we all are. All we want is everybody to have a chance to go out and show who you are, and that's what Morris Overstreet did. He served the state of Texas honorably. He never stopped trying to help people. He mentored so many people as a law professor then in several law schools. Later in life, he was a partner at Hance Scarborough, Kent Hance, many of you may know, who was Republican, but they were great friends. So I just had to take a minute to say thank you to Morris. We, aside from being very, very good friends, experienced some of the same things in life. I lost my son in December of 19. He lost his son less than a year later, his oldest, Morris II. And so we understood what that pain was about. We both had cancer. I got past mine. He didn't get past his. But he never lost his love for people and trying to help folks, and he never wanted any pity. He didn't want anybody feeling sorry for him, so most of us didn't even know he was sick. But thank you, Mr. Speaker and members, for helping me, helping us up here bring forth Judge Morris Overstreet's name as someone who was an honorable man and a very, very, very good man. May God bless him. May he rest in peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, members. Will you join me and rise for a moment of silence? Thank you. Members, we have another memorial resolution. Please take your seats. The chair recognizes Ms. Garcia Hernandez for a memorial recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I'd like to recognize an outstanding family from House District 115, the Newton family. Last week, we passed House Resolution 231 on the memorial calendar, honoring the life and legacy of Mary Winifred Weingarth Newton, who passed away on December 21st, 2024. Mary Newton dedicated her life to service, giving tirelessly to her family, her church, and her community. The Newton family upholds her example through their deep commitment to Capel. They have been steadfast in their support of local schools, actively engaging in PTOs, advocating for teachers, the arts, and participating in community events. Whether organizing National Night Out in their neighborhood or attending Capel school functions, or staying engaged in school board and city council elections, the Newtons are always there welcoming new residents and encouraging civic involvement. Their dedication makes Capel a stronger, more connected community. This week, during their spring break, the Newtons are here in Austin demonstrating their commitment to civic engagement by attending public hearings and meetings with members of the House and Senate on issues that matter to them. A large portion of the Newton family is here today to honor Mary's legacy with their advocacy. Court, Jen, their daughter Hazel, and her friend Delaney Peterson, Court's sister Brooke Minter, her husband Scott, and her son Sam. Also in attendance is Mary's beloved husband of 64 years, Ron Newton, known as Poppy to his grandchildren. The Newton family loves their community, embodies servant leadership, and makes House District 115 a better place. It's my privilege to recognize them here today and to honor, once again, Mary. Thank you. Thank you, Speaker.
Where are we at?
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Doorkeeper,
Mr. Speaker, I have a messenger from the Senate at the door of the House.
admit the messenger.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am directed by the Senate to inform the House that the Senate has taken the following action. Good job. It was short.
The chair recognizes Mr. Tinderholt for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I move to suspend all necessary rules, take up and consider H.R. 585.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair is known the rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 585 by Tinderholt, congratulating the Texas Rangers for winning a Major League Baseball World Series championship in 2023.
The chair recognizes Mr. Tinderholt to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. 2023 was a historic year for the Texas Rangers, who achieved their first World Series title after a remarkable season. After securing a wild card berth, the Rangers went on to perform flawlessly in the postseason, especially in their display of dominance over the lesser-known Texas team, the Houston Astros, in the American League Championship Series. After that, they went on to decisively defeat the Arizona Diamondbacks in a 4-1 series. From their first division title in 1996 to this recent accomplishment, their 53-year story is one of Texas success and excellence. Please welcome our guests on the dais behind me. We have Mr. Ray Davis, majority owner, Mr. Neil Liebman, owner and chairman of the Rangers Sports and Media, Elvis Andrus, Rangers legend, Ian Kinsler, Rangers legend. Rob Matwick, Executive Vice President. Rich Rice, Senior Vice President. Kelly West, Executive Assistant, and Jennifer Kreetzberg, Executive Assistant. Please join me today in celebrating their World Series title, their 53rd anniversary, and wishing them the best of luck in their season opener against the Red Sox next Thursday, where my wife and I will honorably be.
Beat the Astros. Beat the Astros.
Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
The question occurs in the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Representative Plessa moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Mr. Buckley for a recognition.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I stand before you today to honor a group of hard-working, patriotic individuals that are joining us in the Texas House today. Joining us today are members of the Compact of Free Association Islands, the Republic of Palau, the Republic of the Marshall Islands, and the Federated States of Micronesia. These countries have a long and special relationship with the United States dating back to World War II. Join us on the dais. We're proud to recognize the Honorable Aaron Pollock, Vice President of the Federated States of Micronesia, Mrs. Athalita Pollock, Second Lady of the Federated States of Micronesia, and His Excellency Hersey Kyoto, Ambassador and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps based in Washington, D.C. for the Republic of Palau. There are approximately 5,000 COFA residents in Texas, and these men and women are proud of their heritage and experiences and deserve to be recognized for their contributions to this great state. We especially thank the large number of their community who currently serve or have served in our armed forces. Specifically to the COFA community of House District 54 and around Fort Cavazos, I want to say a special thank you for your service and thank you for working to make our community a strong community for all. We are proud to have you in Texas, and members, will you please help me welcome them to their Texas state capitol.
All right. Chair recognizes Mr. Louderback for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 526, recognizing March 18th as Matagorda County Day.
You've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair has none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 526 by Louderback, recognizing March 18, 2025 as Matagorda County Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Louderback to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I am proud to welcome and represent Matagorda County. Matagorda is one of the oldest counties in Texas, and is named for the canebrakes that once lined its shores along the Gulf of America. Matagorda County is known for its abundant wildlife, diverse geography, and rich natural resources. In fact, the county is believed to be home to more species of birds than anywhere else in the country during certain times of the year and houses one of the largest shrimping ports in Texas. On the floor with us today is Judge Bobby Seiferman. Bay City Police Chief Cristela Rodriguez. Matagorda County Economic Development Corporation Executive Director Mike Ferdinand. Vice Chair Candace Graham. And Port of Bay City Chairman Mr. George Harrison. Thank you for everything you do for Matagorda County. It's an honor to represent you. Members, please join me in welcoming them to the Capitol. Matagorda County, please stand. I move adoption, Mr. Speaker.
The question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair has none. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Pursuit moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there objection? Chair has none. So ordered.
Chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. Clerk will read the caption.
HR 403 by Bojami, commemorating Discover STEM Innovation Day at the State Capitol on March 18, 2025.
Chair recognizes Mr. Bojani.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it is my great privilege today to welcome you to the Texas Capitol to celebrate Innovation Day and recognize the extraordinary achievements of our Discover STEM innovators who are present in the gallery here today. Thank you so much for all your hard work and effort. Please give them a big round of applause. Over the last 5 years, these young minds have filed over 600 United States patents, with 314 granted across countries. In just past 3 years, more than 40 high school students from Discover STEM have launched startups to bring their innovation ideas to market. The foundation ensures that every deserving child has the opportunity to excel by providing no-cost programs and over $1 million in scholarships to underserved communities. These young innovators have tackled critical issues ranging from mental health and gun violence to climate change and space explorations. Today, as we stand here, let us salute their commitment and contributions which fuel our state's progress and prosperity. Congratulations to each innovator for your remarkable work. You are not only the problem solvers of tomorrow, but the leaders shaping the future of Texas and our nation. Thank you, members and Mr. Speaker, for celebrating these remarkable individuals with me today. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Lozano for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this morning I would like to recognize a group of Texans who represent an important and often overlooked industry in the state. It's an industry made up of professionals in many fields who are helping our buildings and infrastructure do more with much less by prioritizing efficiency, durability, quality, health, and performance. The Texas chapter of the U.S. Green Building Council has sent thousands of delegates all around the country and dozens to the Texas Capitol to talk about the hard work behind design, construction, finance, and operation of built infrastructure. I'd specifically like to thank board members Tim Murray, Andrew Clements, Carol Cabanis, volunteer leaders Tom Powell, Jeremy Sigmund, and staff Jonathan Kratz, Daisy Verdinez, Ian Hancock, and my dear friend Ken Flippen. These fellow Texans represent new technologies, informed design practices, responsible materials, innovative finance, education for our students and our population as a whole. And each is aligned in a collective vision that is imagining and making a more prosperous and environmentally sustainable and socially connected Texas. Today, the U.S. Green Building Council Texas leaders will be visiting offices to talk about energy and water efficiency, water conservation, air quality, and healthy schools. Members, please help me welcome up here behind the dais the U.S. Green Building Council.
Chair recognizes Mr. Wally for a recognition.
Thank you, Speaker Moody. Members, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Speaker, I wanted to take a few moments to recognize a special group of folks. They're a statewide organization. They're almost in every corner of this state, and that is, and if anybody wants to come and join me in recognizing these folks, it's the Boys and Girls Club Texas Alliance, okay? And so many of our folks, our young people, participate in the Boys and Girls Club. And so the Boys and Girls Club operates in 415 sites throughout the state, serving over 366,000 youth of all backgrounds. The clubs offer children the opportunity to engage in various programs in education, leadership development, sports, and many more leadership opportunities. This organization has a staff of over 4,500 people who mentor our children, instilling in values of respect, responsibility, and service. Please join me in recognizing the members of the Alliance of the Boys and Girls Club of Texas who are joining us in the Capitol today. I think some of them are, there we go. If they'd like to stand and be recognized there in the gallery. So thank you all so much for being here. And if anybody else wants to say something, they can. But thank you guys for being here, the Boys and Girls Club of Texas. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Raymond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I want to add to that the Boys and Girls Club of Laredo they have helped so many of our kids through the years, young people. I think our Executive Director, Robert Eads, is here. Robert, are you somewhere up there? Where are you? Well, I know you somewhere in Texas. So I just want to add to that, thank God for the Boys and Girls Club of Texas. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, the Boys and Girls Club was a safe haven for me as a young man who grew up from a single mother. It was the Boys and Girls Club that kept me in the summers away from trouble in the streets. It was the Boys and Girls Club that taught me teamwork and how to work with others and ethics and values and have fun while doing it. I learned how to play pool, bumper pool at the Boys Club. I learned how to swim at the Boys Club. And no knock to the YMCA, my parents couldn't afford it, but the Boys Club was an affordable way and for children like me to be able to play in a safe, healthy environment where we had arts and crafts. So many fun memories as a young child. So thank you, boys and girls, for always opening the doors for communities, for underserved communities to have safe havens to go and get away from a lot of chaos that children can get into without supervision. So congratulations for all of your great work that you do, and may God continue to bless you as you serve so many Texans and people all across the country. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Smithy for a recognition.
Mr. Speaker and members, this week marks the 62nd anniversary of the case of Gideon versus Wainwright. In that case, the U.S. Supreme Court held unanimously that the Sixth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution guarantees the right of assistance to counsel, and that it's a fundamental right essential to a fair trial, and that it applies to state courts through the 14th Amendment. And so since then, we've had a guarantee that anyone accused of a criminal offense would have the right to counsel. In the 77th legislature, we set up we passed the Fair Defense Act of 2001 to ensure the constitutional right of Texans would be safeguarded. The act established the Task Force on Indigent Defense, which was later made into a permanent state agency, the Texas Indigent Defense Commission. Today we celebrate the creation of our Indigent Defense Commission, and we have with us some representatives from the commission, including the Executive Director, Scott Ehlers. I believe they're up to the right here. Stand up. We recognize them and appreciate what they do to ensure justice in our state. Thank you all.
Chair recognizes Mr. Hefner for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, it is a privilege today to recognize East Texans for Liberty. East Texans for Liberty is an influential group that's been very active in our community since 2014. Based in Upshur County, this volunteer-driven organization is committed to bringing people together, fostering engagement, and making a lasting difference in our great state. I would like to recognize their commitment to our community and their passion for empowering individuals of all ages to take active roles in shaping public policy in Texas. They're a great example of what happens when people come together with purpose and dedication, and I'm proud to have them in the gallery here today. Over here on the left side, I have Stacy McMahon, Jimmy Sanders, Thomas Woods, Sherry Breedlove, and Kay Maines. Thank you all for being here. Welcome to your capital.
Chair recognizes Ms. Hull for a recognition.
Thank you, Speaker. Members want to recognize Commissioner Havran
and the Westlake Fire Department, which is in my district in ESD 47. Please, everyone, give them a round of applause. And they're celebrating 50 years. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Martinez for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we honor a wonderful group of people joining us here today, the men and women who protect lives and property in the state of Texas, our firefighters. Join me in welcoming our firefighters for Firefighter Day at the Capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Pettis of Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Also, a big welcome to my Houston firefighters. Thank you so much for going and fighting the wildfires in the West. That's what we're here for, and thank you so much. We appreciate and love you so much.
Chair recognizes Ms. Davis of Dallas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. I'd like to introduce and welcome my Dallas firefighters, black firefighters here. If you're standing up, gentlemen. They make a difference every day for our communities. We ought to thank them for their service. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Collier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to recognize our Fort Worth and Arlington firefighters. Thank you so much for being here.
Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia.
I'd like to say congratulations and welcome to our San Antonio firefighters.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ward Johnson for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I've moved to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 562.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 562 by Ward Johnson recognizing March 18, 2025 as the National Panhellenic Council Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ward Johnson to explain the resolution.
Members, I want to ask you to help me in welcoming members from the National Panhellenic Council to their day at the Texas Capitol. Founded on May 10, 1930, the NPHC works to promote the well-being of its member organizations known as the Divine Nine. These historically African-American fraternities and sorority boast a rich history of academic excellence and community service, playing an instrumental role in shaping generations of leaders and strengthening communities across the country.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to take a second to recognize two individuals behind me. The National Panhellenic Council National President, Donna Anderson, and Area 4 Director Amani Johnson. Thank you for visiting us today and for your service to all. Additionally, we have some visitors in the gallery, and I want to take a second to recognize them as well. With us today, we have Robin Hunter, Social Area Lead for Area 4. And representing their organizations as regional directors across our great state is Retta Washington McCoy, Earl Gamble, Latanya M. Logan, Dr. Tanisha Bernard, David Berkeley, Tawan Williamson, and Casey Thomas, Coordinator for NPC Day. Thank you again for all you do across our state, and welcome to our Texas Capitol. Mr. Speaker, does anybody else want to speak? Okay.
Chair recognizes Ms. Gervin Hawkins.
Members and colleagues, today is an exciting day. The Texas Legislative Black Caucus is honored to have our Panhellenic groups here to be at your Capitol to celebrate you, your accomplishments, and all the things that you've done. Members, this is the best of excellence, and the Texas Legislative Black Caucus are here to celebrate each and every one of you. Thank you for coming to the Texas Capitol, your Texas Capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Bowers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to recognize my sorors of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, especially Demetria McCain from Washington, D.C., and also Crystal Gayden from Tarrant County. I want to welcome all my D9 brothers and sisters with love, but also especially my legislative director, Kimberly Sawyer from Sigma Gamma Rho. Thank you and welcome to your state capitol. I want you to know that I always hire D9 in my office. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Jones of Harris.
Good morning, D9. How are you? As a proud member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority, I want to tell you that I have love for all of you. I'm so excited to see you here, paying attention to what we do on this floor, because what we do affects Texans. And it is inspiration we get from you that keep us going, because sometimes it gets hard here. I want to give a special shout out to the Omegas, because my child is an Omega. I want to give a shout out to the Zetas. My grandmother was a Zeta. I want to give a shout out to the Deltas, because my colleagues are Deltas, and we fortify each other.
Yes, we do.
I want to shout out to Sigma Gamma Rho. I think people need to hear excellence. Sigma Gamma Rho, I want to shout out to you. I want to shout out to the Kappas, which I'm almost certain that Rep. Dutton, he's a legend here, who's a Kappa, will have something to say. The Iotas, I don't know if you're here. I'm shouting out to you too. I am so thankful for the D9 because it is black excellence, and we do so much to help the youth in this state, in this country, and in this world. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I am a proud member of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, and I am so excited to welcome our Divine Nine to your state capitol. As an undergraduate, I was proud to serve as president of the Panhellenic Council at Texas Southern University, and I know firsthand that the D9 is the organizations that shape this country. You all are the pillars and the backbone of this country. You epitomize Black excellence, and you all are the leaders in philanthropy, in business, in sports, and economics, in every aspect of our lives. And I want to welcome everyone to your state capitol. Thank you all for taking time away from your schedules to advocate for great public policy. We know that this is not a day of just getting away. This is a day of action and advocacy. And I want to thank you all for being on the front line and speaking truth to power. Welcome to your state capitol. I look forward to visiting with everyone. Keep on representing, showing up, and showing out. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Allen.
Thank you. Just want to take a moment. Come, Sophronia, come on over. All of our AKAs. Come on, Joe. Where you at, Joe? Okay. We want to say congratulations to you and thank you for being here today. But I want to take a personal point of privilege to say thank you to my son, Lawrence, who is a Omega Psi Phi. Well, raise your hand, Lawrence, if you're in here. Okay. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. Ward Johnson.
Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. Resolution's adopted. Okay. Representative Bowers moves to add all members' names. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Gervin Hawkins for an announcement.
Our visitors, Panhellenic Group, we've got a panel going on in E114. E114, a panel discussion, a rich discussion around DEI in E114. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Ms. A. Davis of Dallas for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all rules and take up and consider House Resolution 520.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
H.R. 520 by Davis of Dallas, recognizing March 18, 2025 as Blue and White Day at the State Capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. A. Davis of Dallas to explain the resolution.
Mr. Speaker, members, and Texas in the gallery, good morning. It is my absolute honor to stand before you today and recognize the incredible legacy of service, scholarship, and sisterhood and brotherhood that defines Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. For over a century, these two organizations have exemplified the power of collective action, standing on the front lines of justice, education, and community empowerment. We have members of Blue and White here today, and if you would please stand. From advocating to civil rights to ensuring our youth have access to opportunities that uplift them, the members of Zeta and Sigma continue to embody the values of finer womanhood and true brotherhood. Your commitment to the principles of service and social change is not just a testament to our founders' vision, but a beacon of hope for the next generation. As we celebrate our achievements and unwavering dedication, let us also acknowledge the impact that Zetas and Sigmas have made in communities across the nation.
whether it's mentoring young people, supporting HBCUs, leading health initiatives, or advocating for equity at every level. We are the definition of leadership in action. And as your state representative and the first member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated ever elected to the Texas legislature, know that I see you, I appreciate you, and I stand with you in the fight for justice and progress. May we continue to work together to uplift our communities, amplify our voices, and ensure that the legacy of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated and Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated remains strong for generations to come. Thank you for all of you do. Texas is better because of you and your contributions. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider House Resolution 519, naming March 18th as Sigma Gamma Rho Day at the Capitol.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. The following resolution, clerk will read the resolution.
HR 519 by Reynolds, recognizing March 18, 2025 as Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Reynolds to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am honored to present this resolution commemorating March 18, 2025 as Sigma Gamma Rho Day here at the Texas State Capitol. I would like to welcome the phenomenal ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho with us in the gallery. Thank you for being here today. Sigma Gamma Rho was organized in 1922 by 7 young educators. In 1929, it became Incorporated National Collegiate Sorority when the Alpha chapter was chartered at Butler University in Indiana. Of the 4 historically black sororities in the nation, Sigma Gamma Rho is the only founded at a predominantly white institution. Today, Sigma Gamma Rho has over 100,000 members worldwide, and the sorority celebrated its 100th centennial anniversary in 2022. Sigma Gamma Rho has 45 chapters in Texas, including the Epsilon Tau Sigma alumni chapter in my district in Missouri City. Sigma Gamma Rho's commitment to service is expressed in its slogan, greater service, greater progress. The sorority has a proud history of providing positive and proactive community outreach both nationally and internationally. And here today, we have some amazing, phenomenal leaders of the sorority that are in the gallery, and I want to give them a shout. We have past Regional Director Patrice Hillier, Regional Secretary Jasmine Irvin, Regional Programs Chair Ashley McGee, and the Area 4 Coordinator Amanda Wilson. Ladies, thank you for your outstanding contributions to this state and to this country, and we will recognize the dynamic women of Sigma Gamma Rho for their continuous efforts to help uplift the community through sisterhood, leadership, and service. Ladies, congratulations. May God continue to bless you and the great sorority that you represent. Mr. Speaker, I move adoption.
Members, the question occurs on the adoption of the resolution. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Chair recognizes Ms. Simmons for a motion.
Mr. Speaker, I move to suspend all necessary rules to take up and consider H.R. 442.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The rules are suspended. Following resolution, the clerk will read the resolution.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
Speaker.
hold on. The clerk, read the resolution.
HR 442 by Simmons recognizing March 18, 2025 as Omega Psi Phi Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Ms. Simmons to explain the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this resolution is recognizing the members of Omega Psi Phi fraternity, the BRUHs. The Lone Star State Q's 9th District of Omega Psi Phi fraternity are here today at their Texas capitol. Omega Psi Phi was established by 3 students on the campus of Howard University in 1911. The 9th District of Omega Psi Phi fraternity was ratified 12 years later, expanding the fraternity to Texas as well as to Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and California. Today, the organization encompasses more than 750 undergraduate and graduate chapters across the United States and around the world, including over 50 undergraduate and graduate chapters across the state of Texas. The distinguished men of Omega Psi Phi are here to live out their pillars of manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift, but especially scholarship as they seek to promote an attitude towards being informed about their state capitol. It is my honor today to recognize them and to highlight the following members and officers in attendance. The Honorable Jarvis Johnson, who served as a member of the Texas House of Representatives. From the Lone Star State Q's, we have Tawan Williamson, First Vice President, Sherwin Johnson, Secretary, Orrin Burroughs, the chaplain, and Bertrand Simmons, the immediate past basileus of the Lone Star Q's, but also, more importantly, my dad. And I have the honor of calling him daughter. The Coleman love runs deep in our house. My dad is a Q, my little brother is a Q, and my late mom was a Delta. I am so glad to welcome the distinguished BRUHs to their capitol, and members, I encourage you to join me in welcoming them as well. I move passage.
Members, you've heard the motion. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. The resolution is adopted. Ms. Rose moves to add all members' names to the resolution. Is there any objection? Chair hears none. So ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Garcia for announcement.
If we can have all our D9 guests please meet us out at the staircase for an official photo with the TLBC. Thank you.
Chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the caption.
HR 77 by Harris recognizing March 18, 2025 as Navarro County Day at the state capitol.
Chair recognizes Mr. Harris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. HR 77 designates March 18th as Navarro County Day. Established with the approval of the state legislature on April 25th, 1846, Navarro County was named after Jose Antonio Navarro, a signer of the Texas Declaration of Independence. The community developed as a trading and shipping center after the completion of the Houston and Texas Central Railroad in 1871. Substantial population growth followed, and an effort was made to drill for groundwater. This drilling led to the discovery of oil and consequently the first oil boom in the state of Texas. Forever changing the economy and destiny of Navarro County, more than 200 million barrels of oil have since been pumped from the county, which claims the longest continuous oil flow in Texas history. Today, as we welcome Navarro County and the city of Corsicana to the Capitol, I want to take a moment to recognize 2 students from Corsicana High School, Jay-Sean and Ty-Sean Lloyd. These twin brother seniors competed last weekend at the Nike Indoor National Track Meet in New York. The event is put on by the National Scholastic Athletic Foundation, a nonprofit organization with the mission of opening doors to the world for youth through athletics. Ty-Sean Lloyd won 7th place in the nation in the 60-meter dash with a time of 6.81 seconds. His brother Jay-Sean Lloyd took 1st place and was named national champion for the 60-meter hurdles with a time of 7.49 seconds. Congratulations to both of these student athletes on their accomplishments. You've made your school, your city, and your county proud. Congratulations as well to their coach, Wayne Braziel, for his commitment to these students and their success. If you're from Navarro County, you guys please stand and be recognized. Members, join me in welcoming them to their state capitol. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Mr. Lalani for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, today we have in the gallery members from the Rupani Foundation who are here to support the Maternal Mental Health Day. Would you please stand up and be recognized? Thank you. It is my privilege to recognize today, March 18, 2025, as the Maternal Mental Health Day at the state capitol. Maternal mental health conditions are most common pregnancy-related complications in the United States. One in 5 women experience anxiety and depression during pregnancy or the first year of childbirth. Despite the prevalence of these conditions, women consistently face stigma and difficulty accessing care. 75% of women with maternal mental health condition do not receive treatment, negatively impacting the well-being of the mothers, babies, and families. In 2019, maternal health conditions were responsible for one out of every 4 pregnancy-related deaths in Texas, making mental health challenges the leading cause of death among the newborn and expectant mothers. The first step in addressing maternal mental health is ending stigma associated with the prenatal and pregnancy-related mental health condition. It is critical that mothers feel supported by the family, community, and healthcare providers throughout their pregnancy and beyond. That is why I support the work of Rupani Foundation, which joins here today at the Capitol as an Awareness Day for maternal mental health. Since 2017, the Foundation has provided a wraparound services, including mental health services, to more than 7,500 parents and children in Houston area. As a legislator and as a physician, I'm dedicated to increasing the access to maternal health care and improving the maternal health care outcomes statewide. I commend the Rupani Foundation and their tireless effort and all that they're doing in providing care to the people who need. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chair recognizes Mr. Wu for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Member, please join me in recognizing Connect Communities in Houston. They were actually in the gallery but had to go to their next meeting. But they are a valued member of Purpose-Built Community Network. Since 2016, Connect Communities has been a driving force in revitalizing Houston's Gulfton neighborhood in my district, creating safe parks, high-quality mixed-income housing, which is very important, and essential resources that support education, entrepreneurship, and economic mobility. Today, we honor their dedication and lasting impact. Join us in welcoming Ann Whitlock, Founding Director, Lauren Caldera, who leads the Economic Vitality Initiative. I would also like to recognize Ann Whitlock for her outstanding leadership. As the Founding Director of Connect Communities, Ann has been instrumental in the transformation of Gulfton, bringing together residents, partners, and resources to foster community-led development in Sharpstown and Gulfton. More broadly, Purpose-Built Communities is committed to ensuring that every neighborhood is a place of opportunity. where working families have access to quality housing, strong schools, and pathways to economic success. Their model prioritizes resident voices and local partnerships, creating holistic, place-based solutions that uplift communities across Texas. Today, we also celebrate the first ever purpose-built Community Capital Day as they advocate for policies that would strengthen their impact across our state. Members, please join me in thanking them and recognizing them for their hard work.
Chair recognizes Mr. Leach for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I would ask that you join me in recognizing members of the Texas Association for Interior Design and interior design students from Sam Houston State University and Stephen F. Austin University over here in the, over here in the south end of the gallery. Sorry, the north end of the gallery. I'm turned around here. These are the design professionals that not only make our interior spaces aesthetically pleasing, they do so much more than that. They make our spaces functional and safe as well. The Texas Association for Interior Designers is celebrating its 40th anniversary of advocacy for the interior design professionals. That's right. You can give yourself a hand. Members, please help me welcome the Interior Design Association to our Capitol. Welcome and congratulations.
Chair recognizes Mr. Turner for a recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, I wanted to draw your attention to the gallery today. I've got a special guest visiting us from the great state of Florida. A former member of the Florida legislature, David Silvers, is with us today. David, please stand up. David is visiting our Capitol today to learn a little bit about the Texas legislative process. I had the opportunity to visit Tallahassee last year, where David hosted me, so I'm proud to be able to reciprocate today. David, welcome to the Texas Capitol. We're glad to have you here.
Chair lays out the following previously adopted resolution. The clerk will read the caption.
HR 340 by Buckley, honoring the Bartlett High School FCCLA Life Smarts team on its achievements at the Life Smarts State and National Championship competitions.
Chair recognizes Mr. Buckley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to suspend all necessary rules, take up and consider House Resolution 340. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today with us in the gallery are members of the Bartlett High School chapter of the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America. You might recognize them as FCCLA. These students have competed in the Life Smart State and National competitions in 2024 and 2025. In 2024, Sharon Clausen, Diaja Monfort, Jackson Bernstein, Dylan Brown, and Michaela Russell won the Life Smart State Championship and placed 9th at the national competition in San Diego, California. In 2025, Dylan Brown, Sharon Clausen, Jackson Bernstein, Zachary Hubner, and Michaela Russell again won the Life Smart State Championship. And they did because they told me they would in their office a few weeks ago, so they kept their word. And they'll compete in April in Chicago, Illinois in the national competition. Please join me in welcoming these outstanding Bartlett Bulldogs to the Texas Capitol and celebrating their incredible abilities and achievements. They're standing here to be recognized, members, and Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the recognition.
Chair recognizes Ms. Luther for recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, this morning I'm thrilled to recognize the Sherman Chamber Leadership Group who are here today as part of the very first Grayson County Days. Thank you all for making the long trip to Austin. Grayson County is seeing explosive growth in a variety of areas, from our industries in semiconductor wafer manufacturing to food and beverage production to our agricultural land and the rich resources offered by our district. I'm proud to stand with all of you in working to preserve and protect what has always made Grayson County great while supporting all the beneficial growth we're seeing. Thank you for representing our county phenomenally and for being here today, and welcome to your Texas state capitol. Thank you. Thank you. They're not.
Members, we have an announcement. Clerk will read the announcement.
The Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence, which is scheduled to meet today upon adjournment or during bill referral, will convene 40 minutes after the adoption of today's adjournment motion in the posted location.
Members, the Speaker's desk is clear. If you have any announcements, please bring them down front. Ms. Lawson moves that the House adjourn pending the reading and referral of bills until 10 a.m. Wednesday. Is there any objection? The chair hears none, and the House stands adjourned pending the reading and referral of bills.
The following bills and resolutions on first reading and referral to committee. The clerk will read the bills and resolutions.
HB 2601 by Holt relating to the certain disqualifications for operating a commercial motor vehicle. For the Committee on Transportation, HB 2602 by Holt relating to the permitting and inspection of mobile food units. For the Committee on Public Health, HB 2603 by Campos relating to the provision of the assistance of elderly persons in obtaining protective orders. Or for the Committee on Human Services, HB 2604 by Simmons relating to the expansion of eligibility for Medicaid for certain individuals under the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act. Or for the Committee on Appropriations, HB 2605 by Gertis relating to the water losses reported for certain municipalities and utilities in the Texas Water Development Board authorizing administrative penalties. Or for the Committee on Natural Resources, HB 2606 by Bryant relating to the unlawful acquisition, purchase, and transfer of certain weapons, creating criminal offense, increasing criminal penalty. Or for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs, HB 2607 by Wharton relating to the terms of the members of the Board of Hospital Managers and Leasing Authority of the Walker County Hospital District. Or for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government, HB 2608 by Zwiener relating to the consideration of the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality and alternative waste collection, treatment, and disposal options before issuing permits to discharge certain waste. For the Committee on Natural Resources, HB 2609 by Bernal relating to prohibiting the denial of driver's license renewal of the failure to appear in court, failure to pay fine or costs, or failure to satisfy a judgment. Or for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs, HB 2610 by Rosenthal relating to the Medicaid coverage and reimbursement for certain cancer-related treatments or items. For the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women and Children's Health, HB 2611 by Raymond relating to increasing the amount of exemption for residents' homestead of ad valorem taxation by the school districts and protection of the school districts against certain losses in local revenue. For the Committee on Ways and Means, HB 2612 by Zwiener relating to the establishment of the functions of the Texas Carbon Dioxide Sequestration Policy Council. Or for the Committee on Energy Resources, HB 2613 by Harris-Davila relating to the liability of the water park entry for injuries arising from certain activities or for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2614 by Zwiener relating to the regulation of motor vehicle booting or for the Committee on Licensing and Administrative Procedures. HB 2615 by Harris relating to the publication of public improvement district service plans and assessments on certain public internet websites for the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2616 by Oliverson relating to the certain compensation agreements and contracts between certain health benefit plan issuers and the provision of healthcare services to insured and enrollees or for the Committee on Insurance. HB 2617 by Anchia relating to the procedures and the inspection and arrest records of files of person who complete in certain court programs and pretrial intervention programs or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2618 by Anchia relating to the development of severe water adaptation for certain entities or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2619 by Anchia relating to the electronic voter registration or for the Committee on Elections. HB 2620 by Van Dever relating to the inclusion of certain sources of water supply in regional water plans or for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2621 by Meyer relating to the recording and archiving a live video feed by the Texas Department of Transportation or for the Committee on Transportation. HB 2622 by Metcalf relating to the transportation of female patients at a mental health facility or residential care facility or for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2623 by Metcalf relating to the students enrolled in public schools subject in or out of school suspension for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2624 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the licensing and regulation of certain legal professionals requiring an occupational license imposing a fee for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2625 by Dayala relating to prohibited local regulations regarding certain late night and overnight deliveries to food service establishments or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2626 by Buckley relating to creating the Texas Central Water Alliance, providing authorities to issue bonds, granting the power to have an eminent domain, refer to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2627 by Garcia Hernandez relating to the development and implementation of the Live Well Texas program and the expansion of Medicaid eligibility to provide health benefit coverage for certain individuals for the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women and Children's Health. HB 2628 by Leo Wilson relating to the purchase or acquisition of a title or real property by foreign organizations or for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2629 by Rodriguez Ramos relating to acquiring a person convicted of a offense involving family violence or a person who is the subject of a protective order to surrender firearms owned by the person or for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2630 by Harris Davila relating to the declarant control of certain property owners associations or for the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2631 by Harris Davila relating to the prohibited facility fees of telehealth and telemedicine services, providing an administrative penalty for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2632 by Compost relating to the definition of child neglect and appointment of the Department of Family and Protective Services and child parent of a legal guardian of the joint managing conservatorship of a child for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2633 by Rodriguez Ramos relating to the provision of the services for non-physician mental health professional at school districts or for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2634 by Campos relating to the policies and procedures regarding certain young adults in the conservatorship of the Department of Family and Protective Services or for the Committee on Human Services. HB 2635 by Campos relating to the county and municipal regulation of automated external defibrillators or for the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2636 by Longoria relating to designating October 6th as Hispanic Registered Dietitian Day or for the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 2637 by Dowla relating to the practices and procedures for summoning prospective and jurors, petite jurors, and the exemption of certain persons from grand jury and the petite jury service, or for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2638 by Schaffner relating to the designation as Farm to Market 10 in the Panolia County and Deputy Sheriff Chris Dickerson Memorial Highway, or for the Committee on Transportation. HB 2639 by Lilani relating to the pre-authorization determinations conducted by a physician in the same specialty as the requesting physician or healthcare provider, or for the Committee on Insurance. HB 2640 by Lilani relating to the medical director certification and training requirements at certain nursing facilities for the Committee on Human Services. HB 2641 by Leilani relating to the health benefit pre-authorization requirements for physicians and providers providing certain healthcare services or for the Committee on Insurance. HB 2642 by Dutton relating to the persons entitled to request a hearing from the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality related to the construction of concrete plant or for the Committee on Environmental Regulation. HB 2643 by Dutton relating to the application of child support guidelines and the net resources affect parent-child relationship for the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 2644 by Dutton relating to the amount of fines and cards discharged by defendant while confirmed in jail or engaged in labor for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2645 by Dutton relating to the suit for possession of access to a child by a grandparent for the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 2646 by Dutton relating to the establishment of a private care child task force or for the Committee on Human Services. HB 2647 by Dutton relating to the establishment of an inmate legal services office's appointment of compensation of legal counsel for certain inmates and the officers secure correction facilities or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2648 by Dutton relating to the use of deadly force to make an arrest or for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2649 by Dutton relating to the extent of a defendant's criminal responsibility for the conduct of the co-conspirator in a capital murder case or for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2650 by Bojani relating to the reporting of certain orders and convictions by the Department of Department of Public Safety and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for the use of National Instant Criminal Background Check System for the transfer of firearms, refer to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2651 by place of relating to the exemption of abortion restriction for emancipated minors and the repeal of the provision regarding notice and consent of those abortions for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2652 by Ordaz relating to the establishment of certified caregiver pilot program in the Borderplex Workforce Developmental Area for the Subcommittee on Workforce. HB 2653 by Bojani relating to the prohibited performance of certain procedures affecting cat clawing function, providing a civil penalty for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2654 by Bojani relating to the establishment of the Texas Promise Grant Program for the certain students of two-year public institutions of higher education for the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2655 by Oliverson relating to the operation of certain nonprofit organizations for certain regional healthcare programs for the employees of small employers for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 2656 by Verdell relating to the motor vehicle stops of the peace officer operating an unmarked law enforcement motor vehicle for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2657 by Hopper relating to the abolition of the Texas Education Agency and elimination of the post of Commissioner of Education and transfer of powers and duties of the State Board of Education, the Comptroller of the Public Accounts, and the elimination of the public school accounting and assessment system referred to the Committee on Public Health. Public Education, HB 2658 by Verdell relating to the Kimball County Hospital District of Kimball County, Texas, for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 2659 by Lilani relating to the certain mammogram reports providing breast density information for the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention in Women and Children's Health. HB 2660 by McLaughlin relating to the requirement of obtaining certification and continuing education for public information officers for the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2661 by McLaughlin relating to the jurisdiction and operation of the county court law in county or for the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2662 by Davis at Dallas relating to the issuance of the warrant authorizing the no-knock entry by the peace officer for the Committee of Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2663 by Darby relating to the affirmation required by an operator of the application of the Railroad Commission of Texas for an extension of the deadline for plugging in an active well, providing for the imposition of a penalty for the Committee on Energy Resources. AB 2664 by Bowers relating to creating a task force on racial diversity in a nursing workforce or for the Committee on Public Health. AB 2665 by Vandiver relating to the notification and disclosures of records and information concerning investigation of a report of a child abuse or neglect to a county or a district attorneys or for the Committee of Human Services. HB 2666 by Verdell relating to the punishment of the offense of the arson within a government building or for the Committee of Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2667 by King relating to the regulation of referral agencies for senior living communities or for the Committee of Human Services. HB 2668 by Reynolds relating to the study conducted by the Commission on Jail Standards and the Living Conditions and Safety of Persons Confined in Harris County Jail or for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 2669 by Guerra relating to the establishment of a reporting and education program for the dangers of balloons and of livestock or for the Committee of Agriculture and Livestock. HB 2670 by Toth relating to the administration of an election for the member of Board of Trustees for an independent school district for the Committee of Public Education. HB 2671 by Toth relating to the date of an automatic election for the approval of the tax rate of a school district for the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2672 by Toth relating to the proposition to approve the issuance of bonds and other debt by school district for the Committee of Pension Investments and Financial Services.
HB 2673 by Lujan relating to the repeal of certain provisions authorizing cemeteries in certain municipalities and counties refer to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 2674 by Cook relating to prohibiting the regulation of homeschool programs refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2675 by Cook relating to the Housing Finance Corporations refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2676 by Goodwin relating to the normal skin growth education and certain occupational license holders and the liability to those license holders and their employees for certain medical referrals refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2677 by Thompson relating to Medicaid coverage and reimbursement for the treatment of obesity and certain diabetes prevention program services refer to the Subcommittee on Disease Prevention and Women's Children's Health. HB 2678 by Darby relating to the establishment of Texas Advanced Nuclear Energy Authority and Texas Nuclear Permitting Officer refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2679 by Ordaz relating to the closed meeting deliberation regarding defense and military issues refer to the Committee on Delivery and Government Efficiency. HB 2680 by Lozano relating to the liability of a pilot performing pilot services on the Matagorda and La Vaca Bays refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2681 by Dutton relating to the penalty for certain offenders in possession of a small amount of certain controlled substances refer to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2682 by Schatzline relating to the establishment of the Texas Adoption Assistance Program for the Committee on Human Services. HB 2683 by Harrison relating to the regulation of mobile food vendors requiring occupational license, imposing fees, authorization, and administrative penalty refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2684 by Swanson relating to information regarding parental palliative care, creating an administrative penalty refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2685 by Compost relating to the evaluation of Housing and Health Service Coordination Council, the 211 services provided by the Texas Information and Referral Network refer to the Committee on Human Services. HB 2686 by Dean relating to the registration of frac tanks, referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2687 by Guillen relating to the municipal zoning regulations and district boundaries, referred to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 2688 by Harless relating to the public retirement system of certain municipalities, referred to the Committee on Pensions, Investment, and Financial Services. HB 2689 by Guillen relating to the establishment of an intensive workforce readiness adult education pilot program, referred to the Subcommittee on Academic and Career-Oriented Education. HB 2690 by Harrison relating to the governmental restrictions on the right to earn a living, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2691 by Harrison relating to the prohibitions on lobbyists making certain expenditures and gifts in public servants, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2692 by Guillen relating to the codification and clarification of local laws concerning the San Antonio River Authority for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2693 by Gonzalez of Dallas relating to the designating January 6th as the Defenders of the United States Capitol Recognition Day, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2694 by Vasut relating to the election terms and resignation of the Board of Commissioners of the Brazoria Drainage District Number 4, referred to the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2695 by Anchia relating to the use of social media platform and furtherance of an offense involving the delivery of a controlled substance for increasing criminal penalty, for the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2696 by Noble relating to the display of the Ten Commandments in the public school classroom, for the Committee on Public Education. HB 2697 by Anchia relating to the certain procedures in connection with the bond forfeiture, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2698 by Anchia relating to the representation of certain judgment indigent applicants of writ habeas corpus, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2699 by Guillen relating to the optional procedure for the issuance of a permit by the City of Roma for the movement of oversized and overweight vehicles carrying cargo in Starr County, authorizing a fee, referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2700 by Anchia relating to the definition of holster for the purpose of certain criminal offenses, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2701 by Guillen relating to the construction standards for certain recreational vehicle parks and campgrounds, for the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 2702 by Raymond relating to prohibiting certain limitations on the operation of certain organizations that benefit veterans during a declared state of disaster, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2703 by Raymond relating to designating July as American Patriotism Month, referred to the Committee on Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. HB 2704 by Schaffner relating to general definitions regarding biological sex and the designation and the use of certain spaces according to biological sex, authorizing a civil right of action, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2705 by Zwiener relating to the protection of free speech and rights at institutions of higher education, including the prosecution of the offenses of trespass, damage, and defacement at certain institutions of higher education and criminal trespass, for the Committee on Higher Education. HB 2706 by Sweener relating to the possession of property to be acquired by eminent domain during pending litigation and a condemnation proceeding, referred to the Committees on Land, Resource Management. HB 2707 by Gervin Hawkins relating to the licensing and regulation of certain legal paraprofessionals requiring occupational license, imposing fees, referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2708 by Allen relating to eligibility of certain criminal defendants for an order of non-disclosure of criminal history record information, referred to the Committee on Corrections. HB 2709 by Allen relating to required minutes of service during each day of school for a classroom teacher in public schools, referred to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2710 by Little relating to affirmative defenses for prosecution for certain criminal offenses involving material or conduct that may be obscene or otherwise harmful to children, for the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2711 by Vo relating to the establishment of a work group to study the feasibility of implementing an acute psychiatric bed registry, for the Committee on Public Health. HB 2712 by Darby relating to the test years used to rate-making purposes by certain water and sewer utilities, for the Committee on Natural Resources. HB 2713 by Darby relating to the repeal of a municipal civil service system for firefighters and police officers in certain municipalities, for the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2714 by Anchia relating to the issuance and acceptance of high school student identification card and certain other forms of identification as identification for voting, referred to the Committee on Elections. HB 2715 by Curry relating to the suspension and removal from office of certain elected officials of this state or political subdivision of this state, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2716 by Curry relating to the consideration of a history of family violence, child neglect or abuse, or sexual offenses and suits affecting the parent-child relationship, referred to the Subcommittee on Family and Fiduciary Relationships. HB 2717 by Anchia relating to equalizing compensation for certain wrongfully imprisoned persons, referred to the Committee on Appropriations. HB 2718 by Lozano relating to the allocation of money appropriated to the Texas Military Preparedness Commission for the purpose of making certain grants, for the Subcommittee on Defense and Veterans Affairs. HB 2719 by Anchia relating to the name and the governments of the Railroad Commission of Texas, referred to the Committee on Energy Resources. HB 2720 by Anchia relating to the adoption of the agreement among the states of the elect the president by national popular vote, referred to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2721 by Toth relating to the installation and maintenance by the Texas Department of Transportation on highway signs for certain cultural attractions, referred to the Committee on Transportation. HB 2722 by Anchia relating to the denial of certain applications for the permit or other authorization under the Texas Clean Air Act on the basis of certain adverse impacts, referred to the Committee on Environmental Regulation. HB 2723 by Cunningham, relating to the requirement that a person submit an application for an exemption from ad valorem taxation of certain property used for human burial, referred to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2724 by Cole, relating to the equitable operation policies for certain emergency homeless shelters, referred to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2725 by Cole, relating to discount programs provided by toll project entities for certain customers, referred to the Subcommittee on Transportation Funding. HB 2726 by Bojani, relating to an argument before the jury after a subsequent jury charge in a criminal case, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2727 by Chia, relating to the certain creation of criminal offenses concerning firearm sales at gun shows, referred to the Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. HB 2728 by Dutton, relating to the spoliation and evidence held and used in criminal proceedings, referred to the Committee on Criminal Jurisprudence. HB 2729 by Dutton, relating to the admissibility of hearsay evidence in a hearing for a person charged with a violation of condition of release from the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, referred to the Committee on Corrections. HB 2730 by Darby, relating to the authority of a chief appraiser of an appraisal district to require a person allowed an exemption from ad valorem taxation of a resident's homestead to file a new application or confirm the person's current qualification for the exemption, refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2731 by Munoz, relating to the regulation of roadside vendors and solicitors in certain counties, refer to the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 2732 by Curry, relating to prohibiting school districts from providing student instruction on Veterans Day, refer to the Committee on Public Education. HB 2733 by Canales, relating to the prosecution of criminal offenses and prohibited barratry and solicitation of professional employment, refer to the Committee on Judiciary and Civil Jurisprudence. HB 2734 by Holt, relating to the Public Assistant Program fraud, creating a criminal offense, refer to the Committee on Human Resources. HB 2735 by Cunningham, relating to the prohibition on e-cigarette advertising in certain locations, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2736 by Kane, relating to the election of authorizing the issuance of bonds or an increase in taxes by political subdivision, refer to the Committee on Pensions, Investments, and Financial Services. HB 2737 by Kitzman, relating to the land development regulation and communities for using manufactured homes and motor vehicles for long-term residents by certain counties, refer to the Committee on Land and Resource Management. HB 2738 by Isaac, relating to the acceptable forms of identification for voting, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 2739 by Isaac, relating to the requiring of the address on certain identification documents presented by a voter matched with the address of the voter on the list of registered voters, refer to the Committee on Elections. HB 2740 by Martinez Fisher, relating to franchise tax credit and taxable entity that provides paid parental leave to the entity's employees, refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2741 by Martinez Fisher, relating to prohibiting the use of credit scoring in certain lines of personal insurance, refer to the Committee on Insurance. HB 2742 by Basut, relating to the split payment for ad valorem taxes, refer to the Committee on Ways and Means. HB 2743 by Kerwin, relating to the dedication of certain surplus state revenue for ad valorem tax relief, refer to the Committee on Appropriations. HB 2744 by Basut, relating to requiring state contractors, political subdivisions of the state, and private employers to participate in a federal electronic verification of employment and of authorization program, or E-Verify, creating civil penalties, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2745 by King, relating to plans for management and inspection of distribution poles, refer to the Committee on State Affairs. HB 2746 by Campos, relating to the establishment of the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs of a pilot program to solicit donations made by text message for the benefit of local programs and that provide services to the homeless individuals and families in certain municipalities, refer to the Committee on Intergovernmental Affairs. HB 2747 by Frank, relating to requiring certain healthcare entities to submit notice of material change transactions to the Attorney General and the Attorney General's authority to conduct certain related studies imposing a civil and administrative penalties, refer to the Committee on Public Health. HB 2748 by Goodwin, relating to the pilot program to disburse payments of residential landlord when the tenants terminate leases following family violence, certain sex offenses, or stalking, refer to the Committee on Trade, Workforce, and Economic Development. HB 2749 by Orr, relating to the authority of certain counties to restrict sex offenders from child safety zones at certain portions of unincorporated area of the county, creating a criminal offense, for the Subcommittee on County and Regional Government. HB 2750 by Harris, relating to the use of pharmacy benefit manager in which health benefit issuer has a financial interest, for the Committee on Insurance.
Pursuant to a motion previously adopted, the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. Wednesday.